This is why your glow up plan is not going to make you feel better about yourself long term. Glowing up has become a really popular concept, especially since the hierarchy of beauty chart went viral a few months ago. As a personal stylist and a beauty enthusiast, I really liked the way that beauty was being presented in a pyramid chart, but something about it felt off to me. So I spent several hours watching videos titled things like Your Ultimate Winter Arc and Become Unrecognizable in 90 Days to see if I could figure out what my feelings were about the hierarchy of beauty and the mainstream concept of glowing up in general. And I've determined that the concept is being presented incorrectly, it's incomplete, and ultimately it's harmful. I think we could do better, so that is what I'm aiming to give us in this video. Calling it the hierarchy of beauty implies that this is the hierarchy of beauty needs, since it is based off of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So this is the self-actualization process that you need to go through in order to feel beautiful and to be seen as beautiful. Implying these needs is a harmful beauty standard, especially for young adults and children who are receiving this viral messaging on social media. Nothing above the second layer is a need, but that's the way it's being presented in this framework, intentionally or not. Instead of calling it the hierarchy of beauty, I would call it the pyramid of beauty possibility. Okay, we can workshop the name, but for now, that is the concept. I think it's the best way to describe it for now because what I want to talk about is closer to a food pyramid rather than a hierarchy of needs. The bottom layers are the foundational fuel for your beauty, while the middle layers supplement your beauty nutritionally, and the tip of the pyramid is used most sparingly and intentionally. At this point, I think it's important to say that I am not against invasive procedures or plastic surgery by any means. I have filler in my lips, I've gotten Botox, and I want a plastic surgery. But I do think it is so important to make those decisions about your appearance from a grounded, intentional place. And that is what I think is really missing from this chart. So I added a new layer. Our understanding of beauty, especially our own, needs to be rooted in these things: self-worth, self-trust, which could also be called confidence, your values, and a compassionate self-image. And all of this together, I would call having an internal locus of beauty. Without this layer, the rest of the pyramid can get unbalanced really quickly. If you feel worthless as a person, you're not going to be motivated to do these foundational things to take care of yourself. You might neglect yourself in some way by not brushing your teeth, or moving your body, or giving yourself adequate nutrition. If you see yourself as a problem to be fixed instead of a person to grow into, you might skip to those more invasive means to calm your feelings of inadequacy. If you are obsessed with perfectly meeting the beauty trends of the moment, you might end up ruining a facial feature that wasn't even a problem to begin with. Those are just a couple of examples, but you get the point of how this can become unbalanced quickly. How we feel mentally and emotionally greatly affects our appearance, so it's vital that we address that when we talk about glowing up. Otherwise, you will continue to chase a standard of perfect beauty that doesn't actually exist and is always changing. You're going to exhaust yourself and never find a sliver of self-worth or self-love because you're always going to feel like you're not good enough. So what do you do with this information? I'm going to spend the rest of the video explaining how to strengthen and define your internal locus of beauty and how to use the new pyramid of beauty possibilities to create your new and improved glow up plan. Building your internal locus of beauty takes time sorting through your thoughts and feelings about your body and appearance. Are they really your opinions, or are they opinions that you have absorbed and held onto from other people? And this can go in two different directions because you might find that there are certain things that you were taught not to like about yourself that you're actually okay with. Or you might realize there are things about yourself that other people haven't taken an issue with, and they might have even complimented you on, but it's taking a huge hit on your self-image. And we also need to remember and internalize that beauty has become commercialized and largely reduced to a set of trends. So when you are bombarded with the newest thing to be insecure about, I want you to ask yourself this. When I was presented the solution to my problem, did I feel relief because that was something I was looking for? Or did I feel shame because I didn't realize it was a problem to begin with? That question alone is going to strengthen your self-trust a lot the more that you engage with it. Another important factor of strengthening your internal locus of beauty is to start meeting your self-critical talk with self-compassionate talk. You have to bring yourself back to a realistic place. I'm a personal stylist and I'm a beauty enthusiast, so I really do think that your appearance and how you present yourself is an important part of your personhood. However, it's not the only part of your personhood, and it's definitely not the most important part of your personhood. So, two areas that I would research to help you with this self compassion are body neutrality and mindful self compassion. Body neutrality went viral some years ago, and it seems like it's a thing of the past, but I think it's something that we need to bring back. It is okay to celebrate your body for the things that it does, the things it allows you to experience, not just the way that it looks. Mindful self compassion is a type of meditation and mindfulness practice that has you treat yourself like you would treat a friend with loving kindness. So you can find guided meditations about this, you can find readings about this, but I definitely suggest researching that, especially if you really, really struggle with heavy negative self-talk. Obviously, these are daily practices. You're going to have to work on them and build those new pathways in your brain when you've been speaking to yourself so negatively. But over time, those are going to be really helpful in creating a stable internal locus of beauty. So using this pyramid is the same as it worked before. You start from the bottom up, but this time the globe has to start internally. Be honest about how you feel about yourself and what you think needs to change. In the bottom level, I am currently working on my nervous system with a therapist that specializes in polyvagal theory. I've come a long way with my feelings of self-worth and self-esteem, but I do find that I still have these lingering feelings of unworthiness. And in my own research, I've realized that that has to do with my nervous system. Some other examples of what people might be experiencing that are watching this video: maybe you need to learn to set boundaries with people who make comments on your appearance. Maybe you need to work through your fear of being seen so that you can actually wear the clothes that you want to wear. Maybe you've gone through a life experience that has made your depression worse and you're spiraling and you need to reach out for help so that you can get back on track. Like I said earlier in this video, if you don't work on this internal level, the rest of the pyramid is going to become unbalanced and shaky. So then the next level is still foundational. All of these elements are so important to take care of yourself adequately on a very basic level. I think one of the videos that I watched talked about this is the main level to not make you look crusty, and I would agree. Anything above this level is not going to make you feel better about yourself if you're not caring about yourself on the most basic human level. For me in this level right now, I am really prioritizing getting adequate nutrition, making sure that I'm stopping work to eat lunch during the day, making sure that I'm eating snacks. Another thing in this level that I'm prioritizing is I just finished working with a physical therapist not too long ago. And so every morning I am making it a part of my routine to continue to do those exercises so that my muscles continue to get stronger, so I'm not having so much pain like I was having before. The third layer and beyond is where the internal locus of beauty really comes in. Because as we talked about earlier, besides clothing, skincare, and grooming, none of this stuff is a necessity. We have to decide what fits into our beauty ideal and let go of the rest. This is a good point in the process to think about what things you love about yourself, what things you would like to learn to love, and what things you just cannot accept. Looking at this level for me, I love my natural eyelashes and eyebrows. I get my eyebrows threaded every 5 weeks, but I have no desire to tint them, and I have no desire to tint my eyelashes. That would just be a waste of money. Something that I used to not love about myself, but I love about myself now, is my pale skin. When I was younger, I was so self-conscious about my pale skin because the beauty standard was super bronzed. Everyone was laying out with those little Playboy bunny stickers so everybody could see how tan they got over the summer. That never worked for me. But I finally realized that I was just exhausting myself and I didn't actually hate my natural skin tone. I was just doing it to make other people comfortable. Now that I have accepted this part of myself, I feel a lot better in my own skin and in my own body. And then super vulnerability time, something that I just cannot accept about myself is my nose. I really don't like that it's crooked and I want to have my septum straightened. But this isn't something that I've just come to the conclusion that I want the last few months. This is something that I've known that I've wanted for years. So I feel really good and grounded in that decision whenever I take the jump to have that surgery. I think it's important to mention that having a successful glow up that is going to make you feel better about yourself long term means to be realistic and patient about the process. Some of the things in this pyramid you can change immediately. You could go to the drugstore right now and get the right cleanser and moisturizer for your skin type, and immediately start taking care of your skin better. You could watch a tutorial on how to do your makeup better or to do your hair better in the ways that you've been wanting to. But even on certain things that might be a little more immediate, like getting filler or getting a personal trainer, it's still important to be patient and to do your research so that you choose the right professionals. Because otherwise, if you're just desperate to get something done, you might end up going to the wrong service provider and really messing yourself up. I mean, we see that all the time. And then it is important to be realistic that some of the things you want might be out of your reach altogether. Maybe you can't find somebody in your area that does what you want done, or you really just can't afford to keep up with a certain beauty habit that you would really like to have. Overall, don't rush the process. Stay grounded in the plan that you've made for yourself and continually work on strengthening the base of your pyramid so that you don't get caught up in those unattainable, harmful beauty trends that we are constantly bombarded with. I want to know 2 things in the comments. Number 1, what your biggest takeaway from this video was, and how you're going to change your glow up plan based on this new pyramid. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.